The T28 might get to A by the end of the match. Thanks, I appreciate that. I like their confidence in my ability to play this tank, don't you? What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another War Thunder video. Today we're taking out the American mighty giant, the T28. This is a premium tank, battle rating 6.3, tier 4, cost just under 7,500 golden eagles, and it's unbelievably slow. You're looking at, we're on Kursk, of course, which is a great map for this vehicle, right? Going at a blistering 12 kilometers an hour, and they're right. We might get to the cap by the time the match ends. And that's part of the fun of this tank is you're so unbelievably slow. You can just kick your feet up and relax, and know that almost nothing can penetrate the front of your hull. It's a classic casemate style tank. It's enormous. You might even be able to say it's ugly. And you know what? I'm not gonna hate you for that. You can dislike the look of this vehicle all you like. It's okay. I'm not gonna hold it against you. The T28 is a tank that I've had for a very long time, dating all the way back to when arcade was the primary tank mode for me. And I bought it because the American tech tree was kind of in its infancy compared to where it is today. Today, a brand new American tanker will have a considerable number of new tanks added to the tech tree. Not only premium tanks, but also regular tech tree vehicles. And whether you're... My god. Tires. They're so frustrating. Whether you're looking for a premium vehicle or a regular tech tree, you have an amazing array of options. And when I got into the American tech tree, they really didn't have very many options. Certainly for tier 4. Now when I bought mine, I believe I got it for 50% off because of either a sale or because I got one of those post-match discounts that you get on occasion. It's completely RNG. And frankly, this was one of my favorite American tanks in arcade. In realistic battles, it's really kind of hit and miss for me. And the reason is you don't have very good ability to see where your enemies are all the time. The side armor on the T28 is absolutely terrible. It doesn't take much to pen you. You can get killed by self-propelled anti-air guns, so you don't really need to be up against an IS-2 from the side to kill you. If you do happen to get one of those on your side, you're definitely going to be dead. Also, one of the caveats to realistic battles is that you don't have teammates with you all the time. In arcade, you have guarantee of 3 spawns, so you have a pretty good likelihood that you're going to have teammates around you. In RB, your teammates may thin out quite easily, and I find that teammates can be really helpful when driving this vehicle. They can not only help save you, but they can also serve as cannon fodder for the enemy team, quite frankly. Because as good as this vehicle is from an armor standpoint, it's incredibly slow to move. It's also got a very slow reload. And any sort of maneuverability, side to side, there's very little for the gun itself. This doesn't have a traditional turret. So if your tracks get blown off, you're completely immobilized. There is a non-premium version of this vehicle in the tech tree. It's called the T95. Basically, it's a wider version of this. It's got the same gun, same armor, same everything. It's just a non-premium version. And right now, I would not recommend the T28 to a brand new player. It's not only is it expensive, but it's also incredibly situational. There are many maps where I would prefer to take something like the Pershing or the Super Hellcat, or honestly almost anything rather than this, because it just doesn't have the mobility. And sometimes mobility is good for certain maps. A big open map like Kursk, where you can just hold down W and kill anything that drives in front of you, is pretty nice. But if something gets on your side, what do you do then? I've been on some nightmarish maps. Take, for example, Advance to the Rhine. It's It can be fun, but there are so many little alleys and ruins that people can get in and around that it makes it very hazardous to drive anywhere on that map. So you have to be very careful about where you drive. Try to keep the enemies in front of you as best you can. From a gun standpoint, you're looking at a 105mm cannon. It does have APHE, which is excellent. You saw some carnage earlier in the match where I sniped a Panther and a Dicker Max. It's got excellent killing potential. Reload rate is not that great. Mobility, as I said, is just terrible. It's got a top speed of 12.8 kilometers an hour. But that gun, boy, that really thumps the enemy. That was arguably one of the best selling points of this vehicle for me, aside from its ability to grind the tech tree when I first started the Americans. It's really about Tier 4 where America really takes off. Late Tier 3, Tier 4s, that's where America really shines, in my opinion. The Shermans are not the best tanks in that battle rating, especially when you compare it to some of the vehicles that Russia and Germany get. Wow, how did I miss that shot? Kursk, it's kind of challenging to play nowadays because of all these little bushes and fenceless that have been added. And there's the big problem with this vehicle. It's so easy to disable the gun barrel. Once you take out the gun barrel, then you start whittling away at the cupolas. The left and the right on the top of the tank have cupolas. Depending on your shell, depending on the penetration, you can very easily whittle away at the crew members on the T28, as well as the T95, because they're fundamentally the same in that sense. It is, of course, possible to kill a T28 with a single shell by going through the cupolas, but it takes a very precise shot to pull that off. The last time I did it, I was in the AMX-50 Surbase, and it was just a pixel perfect shot. Very difficult to pull that off. Very lucky on my part. But as you saw in this battle, all we had to do was hold down W and eliminate each and every tank that was foolish enough or unfortunate enough to drive within our gun, and there mow down the last guy for kill number 6 on a poor PT-76. Now let's move on over to another match. We are on Poland, where we are making our... Wow, what the heck was that? That's EATX. And we just spawned. What? Well, we didn't just spawn. It just takes a long-ass time to get into the city here. So, we are up against the Germans, so at this tier, you can expect an RU-251 or something. There aren't very many vehicles for Germany that have EATX. So that's a pretty solid guess that it's an RU-251. And this is battle, so they have to come to our cap point at Alpha. Where is this guy? Where is this guy? I'd be hiding too. I wouldn't want to engage a T28 frontally. Nothing up on the ridge. Oh, somebody in the city. It's my 2 o'clock, but I don't see him just yet. I don't want to fully commit to this one guy. That's the trick of this, because there could be a guy from my left, because there's this ridge to my left that comes around, that funnels around from the water. If you angle too far towards one guy, you could end up getting shot in the left side. So if I go like this, I could get shot in the left. That's the obvious concern that I have. But Panther 2, I'll take that guy out. Right, there's another one behind him. So we'll just position ourselves for the same shot. Hope he just drives right out, just like the other one did. Here he is. Oh, over-angled himself, just like I was worried about myself doing. This is the old spawn system, so the enemy team is being whittled away quite rapidly. But so is my team, quite frankly. This is not a clear-cut, obvious victory for either side yet. Was a Jagdpanzer over there. I don't think I can actually hit him from over here. Can't really see him very well, that's for sure. And then the slow reload rate on this vehicle. It does make for some challenges. And now that I'm overcommitting to the guy on the left, I'm worried to my right. Because the guys are going to be funneling in through the city here any minute now. Or at least you would think they would. But it seems like they have a lot of their guys up in the air. A lot of 109s up in the air. Well, one's on the ground now. I don't know what it is about Tank RB, but a lot of people like to play with the airplanes. Personally, I prefer to stay on the ground. Although I consider myself to be a competent pilot, I play tanks to play tanks. You know, there are other modes for air battles. But, you know, personal preference. They can do whatever they want. I decided to go back and take a look at the A point just to make sure I didn't miss anything. And I decided to then proceed down towards Bravo because we appear to be winning this battle. You really think you can pull me? Go away, little guy. You are not going to pull my fat ass. The T28 weighs 59.4 tons. An M22 isn't going to pull anything. You'd pull the transmission out of that thing before you would get this thing to move. Oh well. It's the thought that counts, am I right? At least he was being generous with his resources. Alright, looking at the mini-map, they have a heavy tank to the south of Bravo. So we know we're going to have to engage that. We have to cut this corner sharp so that we're not susceptible to any side shots. And that's something you have to keep in mind all the time in this vehicle. You can't take anything for granted. You have to be very deliberate in your movements. I like that the T22, or excuse me, the M22 Locust is actually up here trying to do some battle. Meanwhile, Quelling just shot down the 84. The 84 took out Tiger. Now, if we cap this, game's over. This is battle, after all. However, we're not able to cap, so that means there's something else on here. As a matter of fact, they're capping now. The M22 isn't on the cap. Now he is back on the cap. So what could be here? Yeah, I'm coming, buddy. Again, you want to take this turn sharp and not get shot in the side. Bounce the Jagdpanther. Take out him. Now we're capping. Poor Jagdpanther. Oh, we got another customer. Where are you and what are you? You are a... Is that another Jagdpanther? It was. The Germans are bringing out their tank destroyers. They must have a daily mission. Oh, we have a third customer. Yeah. Good try. Quelling took down the 84, but he's not going to take me down, that's for sure. Not without a gunner, commander, or a loader. And he can't rotate his turret, so he's going to get him, Locust. Yes! I love it when they help out. Oh, what's this guy? This is a can't even think of the name of this thing. A Panzerwerfer. Yeah, 50 cal him to death. That'll work. I don't know how many people actually own the Panzerwerfer. It's one of those vehicles you get offered a trial almost every couple of weeks through the daily logins. And the M22 Locust comes in here to help me repair it. What a freaking boss. He can cap. I'll just hang back and chill. Because again, I don't want to let my left side get exposed. We got Stuka inbound. Yeah, I don't want to get bombed. There could be something on that hill. Their spawn is, after all, right over that in that direction. A big Carnarvon though is over here. He could be a powerful ally. Use that big gun of his. Okay, or not. Poor Carnarvon. So much for that big gun. It's just me and the Locust up here. And I see some movement. Little Ostwin, get out of here, buddy. What are you gonna do? Really, all you're doing... Oh, Locust. Rip Locust. Warbowen had to come in and ruin our fun, and there comes another Jagdpanther. That's the third one that I've seen so far, just since I gotten in this area. Can't quite look around the corner of that house. We can see him with the binoculars. He tried for the cupola shot. Yeah. Rip. Kill number 7. Again, I'm reluctant to push in there just because I don't want to get myself exposed to the left side. There's absolutely no telling what's over there to my left. Not only could they come open over that ridge like that Jagdpanther did, but they could also come around. They could also come around the water here. In between that ridge and the water, there's a little lane where people can use and can sneak in. There's that Whirlwind firing his guns. More airplanes up in the air doing their thing. T28 got the Whirlwind. Nicely done. And now we push in for the cap. Alright. We're in. We're safe. Nothing on the ridge. Nothing on the left side. We're good, boys. So again, the T28, would I recommend it? Not anymore. A couple of years ago, I would absolutely recommend it. Even though it was expensive, today it's superseded by far better vehicles, and there are more of them. Either regular tech tree versions, which you can talisman, or there are better premium vehicles that you can buy. Nicely done by the pea shooter, taking out an S-horn. Still nothing on my left. Yeah, the T28's fun, but it is situational. Some maps you just don't stand a chance. You have to be very careful about. Still nothing. We gonna survive this match? Still nothing. Still nothing. I think we got this in the bag, boys. Airplanes doing their thing. Still nothing. Oh god. Only some track damage, nothing serious. Did you see that? To my left, there's a tank in the dust from the explosion. I didn't see that at the time, but he's about to find me. Get a little cocky, give him a little GG, and son of a bitch! I never saw the Panther. The dust concealed him. Not that I probably would have been able to spin my tank around and get him. Nevertheless, it was a fun match. and we ended up winning 7 kills, 1 sad death. Ended up with just over 51,000 in silver lions. I made a little bit of progress towards the XM803. As you can tell, this is from the previous patch. But still, it was fun. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, click the thumbs up button. And of course, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Take care guys.